What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how I profited over $1 million with just one real estate deal. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. Sorry, I'm laughing because my videographer backed into this car while we were filming this video. But if you're new to the channel, my name's Chandler Smith, and I've been investing in real estate for the last 8 years. I currently own 114 units of rental real estate and a 73 unit storage complex. And this deal was the biggest, and actually still is the biggest real estate deal that I've ever done. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how this one purchase over the course of the last year has been able to go up in value by over $1 million and is now cash flowing over $100,000 every single year. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Now guys, in this video, we're gonna talk about this unit, how I was able to make over $1 million on it. But what I need you to do is make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell. And if you enjoy this video, where I show you how I was able to profit over $1 million and $100,000 a month on that deal, I'll do another video on this deal. Now, I've done other videos on both of them, but if you wanna see where this deal is at, you can let me know. This is the 15-plex I purchased from the same owner. Today, however, we're gonna continue focusing on the 32-plex, but if you enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button and let me know in the comments, and I'll do another video on the 15-plex. So just to jump into things, we're gonna give you kind of the backstory on this property, and my voice is gonna be shaky for this whole video because it's about 10 degrees outside right now. I was in a place where I decided I really wanted to pick up a bigger property. So I told all of the realtors and wholesalers and everyone else that I worked with that we were looking for a different property. Now, what worked out really nice with this one is I had a realtor that I'd been working with for quite a while, and he came to me and he said, "Chandler, I've got a property. I think it's gonna be an awesome fit for you." So we came, we talked with the owner, and she wanted $2.5 million for it. Now, we went back and forth on the property and eventually got her down to 2.2. And the owner is awesome. Like, she's been great to work with. And it turns out that this unit, this is a 15-plex that then a year later, I ended up purchasing as well. So this owner has been absolutely awesome, and we've had the opportunity to do 2 purchases with her. Now, I also got a good chunk back at closing on top of it, so it was even lower than 2.2 because she gave us money to fix all of the roofs and a lot of other issues that are inside. Now, with this property, it has been exactly 1 year, or just a little shy of 1 year since we purchased it. So we're gonna go through some of the tweaks and fixes that we've made since the purchase. I always hype up real estate. I also, in this video, wanted to share the negative things that have happened in this property over the last year. We have had, I believe, 1 eviction that I know nothing about because my management company takes care of all of it, where we lost a little bit of rent from that eviction. Really something that's not a very big deal. You've got to dip there because, okay, you're good. On top of having the eviction, we also had 2020. And I know a lot of people were wondering if we were able to continue to collect rents. What's so cool about my management property is we did have issues where people couldn't be evicted, but the way that you work around that is the government has also given certain aid, especially on a state level. And so as you educate yourself on that, you can evict people if they're not going through the proper processes to get the help that they need. But as we educated ourselves and our people, or I guess as my management company did, they were able to find out that Idaho Housing offers a lot of aid to our tenants. What this means is as long as we have them fill out the right stuff, they're able to get into a place where they get their rent paid for through the government. And what was cool about this is a lot of times they would backdate that rent. So we did have people that ran into financial issues, but as we worked with them, or again, as my management company worked with them and helped them go through the process, even if they missed rent for a month or 2, it would backdate as much as 3 months as long as we went through the process. So we ended up having an incredible year because I have a management company that does their research and found a way to help people get through this trying time. And so it's really neat if you have someone that's on the ball. If we wouldn't have been on the ball, we wouldn't have been able to evict people, and they wouldn't have paid rent, and we would have been in trouble. But now it's turned out to be an absolutely incredible year. Okay, It is so cold, so you guys gotta smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. If this video doesn't do well, I'm not going to film another one in the cold. Hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. When I picked up these units, the average rents were $496 per unit. Some were at $460, some were just a little over $500, but the rents were extremely low. And so the first thing we did is we went in and we decided that we were gonna figure out how much time was left on everyone's leases. And what was so cool about this property is every single tenant was month to month on their leases. And so what we decided to do is write letters that said, hey, we're going to be raising rents to $850. However, if you choose to stay, you will get your rents for only $800. Now, I know I'm going to get a little bit of flack for coming in and raising rents, but here's the reality. If you were to rent a 2-bedroom apartment in this size, even lower quality, you are not going to find anything lower than $850. And if you do, I promise the quality is trash, or it's another situation where you're never going to find vacancy because it's got an old owner that hasn't raised rents to where they should be. So us giving these people $800 as their rent is way better than what they could find anywhere else. Now, granted, their rents are going up, but a lot of these people had been here forever and had never had rent increases, and they knew they were in a situation where they were killing it on the price of their rent. So we got a little kickback, but at the same time, we were still giving them a better deal than market rents. We did lose probably 1/4 to 1/3 of our tenants that we were immediately able to fill at $850. Now, I'm sure there are also some people saying, well, Chandler, you probably poured a ton of money into renovations on these properties. The reality is we did have a couple total flips that we did, but even those weren't bad. And I'll show a video of one here. You can see that we replaced the flooring, we replaced all of the baseboards, we replaced some things in the kitchen, maybe added a fridge or an oven. But even this renovation that I'm showing you only ended up costing us about $6,000. And that was kind of the top of what we paid per unit to renovate. Some renovations cost us as much as $250 to $500 just to go in and clean them up and repaint or do little stuff to get them to the point where then they were already in a place where we could raise rents to $800 for the people that were living there. And it was more than fair. And if they decided to leave, same thing, we'd pour, $250 to $500 into just cleaning up the unit. And then we were quickly able to rent them at $850. We would put these on as a listing. And in the course of literally a week, we would have, a dozen different people applying to come and take these units. And so they were very easy to fill at that $850 price point, which just kind of solidifies my view that giving $800 to the tenants that were here was more than fair for what the market was. So now we've covered the purchase price, which was $2.2 million. We've talked about getting a lot back in closing. We've talked about how immediately once we went in, we were able to raise rents by doing renovations. Overall, renovations were extremely inexpensive for this property. The other thing that I wanted to hit on is I was able to negotiate with the bank back and forth. And if you want to see more about that, you can check out this video. But we were able to get them down to where this is on a 20-year AM. The rates change at 10, and my interest rate on this is at a 3.85. Now, since then, I've been able to negotiate even better rates and terms. But for this property, we were pretty pumped on that with getting the lower down, a 3.85% interest rate that's locked for 10 years on the 20-year AM. After we've covered all of that, I want to jump into the numbers and show you how we were able to turn this property into a property that went up in value by over $1 million and now cash flows over $100,000. And the only way we can do that is by taking you to my app. It's CDS Rental Calculator on the App Store, and we've got it for Android and for the iPhone. I thought we could come over to the shade to film this portion, but I am freezing, so we're gonna go back to the sun. All right, guys, now that we're back in the sun, we're gonna jump into the numbers. And again, if you wanna download the app, it's the CDS Rental Calculator. You can just plug everything in. Now, when I purchased this property, I purchased it probably at right around a 6 cap. Now, what's happened in my market over the last year is actually pretty insane. The market has exploded. We used to have like 200 plus homes on our MLS at any given time, and sometimes even pushing 300. Right now we have 41 homes listed in my whole market that's got, well over 100,000 people here. And the markets on either side of us are the same. And so we're in a really weird place where supply is extremely low and demand is extremely high. And what this has done is it's shot up prices everywhere. Everything now is going well above the market. And on top of that, it's the same with rental properties. Right now, there is no multifamily real estate on our MLS. So if you're gonna find a multifamily deal, the only way that you can do it is by finding off-market deals or having an in or being extremely aggressive when multifamily stuff does hit. And people are buying below a 6 cap in my market now. And so when you look at this property that I purchased at about a 6 cap, when you've got rents at only $496, and then you see that we've come in and increased rents to well over $800 for every single unit, it is absolutely incredible at how much this has gone up in value, especially when you look at the fact that people are purchasing under a 6 cap right now for investment properties. So what I wanted to show you is I wanted to show you what I believe this property could sell for right now very easily. So if we come into the app, we're gonna put in a $3.2 million purchase price. Chandler, you purchased it for $2.2 million a year ago. How are you coming to a 3.2? And here's the deal. When you're dealing with multifamily real estate, what it sells for all depends on how it runs as a business, especially with these big multifamily deals. It just comes down to what your return is, what your cap rate is, what your cash on cash return is. And so I'm gonna show you what justifies this $3.2 million purchase price. And I actually think it's pretty conservative for what I could sell this for if I were to sell it right now, not even a year past since I purchased it. So we're gonna plug in all of this stuff for, what I think interest rate, 30-year term, rents at $25,800. This is even a little low for what my rents have been the last couple months, but I think this is a good average if you're guessing that you're going to have, here's the deal, I'm just being conservative. I could have put in over $26,000 because that's what we brought in last month, but I think this is a conservative number. That puts average rents at $806. I also included a 12% maintenance, a 10% management, our insurance at $2,000 and our taxes at $20,000. All of these numbers are spot on. So if you look at the returns, this is at a 6.4 cap and a 9.46 cash on cash return. The cash flow would be $75,000. Guys, this is insane. I could sell it for $3.2 million and someone would be getting an extraordinary deal where they're still cash flowing $75,000. Now for me, with the deal I purchased it at, it's cash flowing well over $100,000 per year. But the reason I want to show you this is look at the equity I've added to this property. By purchasing it and raising rents and adding value and running it properly, you can see that we've added well over $1 million to what this property is worth, on top of the fact that we've increased cash flow to well over 6 figures per year on this property. And guys, this is what I love about investing in real estate. This is why I absolutely love this deal. And granted, this is the best deal that I've ever landed in my entire life. But when you can get to the point where in the course of 1 year, you can purchase a property and add over $1 million in value, it's just insane. Now, I'm sure lots of people out there are saying, Chandler,
well, you can't find deals like this every day. These are
rare. How am I gonna get the money to purchase a $2 million property?
This is the same process I've used for all of my other properties, whether it's a condo, a duplex, a 4-plex, an 8-plex, a 24-plex, or a 32-plex. It all works the same. If you can find a property that is undervalued because it hasn't been run properly, it's under market value to purchase it, and you can go in, add value, make the small renovations, increase rents, you can take literally any property and do the same thing. And so if you've only got $25,000, go buy a $100,000 property and follow this model. If you've got $1 million, go buy a $5 million property and follow this same model. But real estate is the best place to put your money, because not only do I now have huge cash flow that's probably pushing 16, 17% on my initial investment. I've added $1 million in equity. I'm getting huge tax benefits. I'm getting huge principal pay down, huge appreciation on top of the forced appreciation that I have. You can't find another investment that's going to give you a return like real estate. So if you're on the fence, if you're trying to decide what to do, I promise you, if you can put in the time, you're gonna be able to go and find deals similar to this, even on a smaller scale. And as you find success with those, it's gonna give you the ability to scale up into a property like this, where I literally was able to make over $1 million in equity and $100,000 a year for as long as I own it. And here's the best part, it doesn't stop now. Every year, this property is going to continue to go up in value. Every year, the rents are going to keep coming in, and odds are I'll continue to raise rents as the property goes up in value, so the cash flow is going to continue to go up, and the equity is going to continue to go up. And that's why I'm not gonna sell this property and pocket $1 million. I'm gonna sit on it and continue to let it do what it does. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future video where my goal is to help you to build a huge passive income. Thanks guys, have a great day.